So before I hop into my makeup, I wanted to show you guys what my routine was for the day. So since I am going to the cake bake shop, I wanted to smell like the cake that I'm going to be choosing, and I'm going to show you guys that of course when I get to the restaurant. But I chose to use the EOS Shea Butter 24-hour moisture body lotion, and this is in the scent Vanilla Cashmere. This is so decadent and delicious and warm and vanilla, and this was the perfect base scent for the lotion today. But in the shower, I actually used my Onyx Bathhouse birthday cake foaming scrub, of course, because I had to keep that cake theme up. And then I actually used this up, but this is the Decadent Aroma body wash from OGX. Very vanilla cupcake, warm, tasty vibes. And then I chose to use my tie-dye vanilla cupcake deodorant today because duh, I wanted to smell like a cake. So I wanted to use that. And then I also did use my Vanilla Rainbow Sprinkle shower gel after I used my OGX, because I used my OGX for the base clean. So for my actual scent, I chose Confetti Cake Pop because it was just, of course, very fitting for the occasion. So this is also in my project Use It Up, and I'm almost finished with it. As you guys can see, I've been really working hard on it, but I really do love it, and I'm happy that I do have a backup. So that's why this one can go ahead and get out of the collection. And then I also used Cupcake Swirl because I actually don't show this one as much love as I thought I was going to show it, and I definitely need to pick it up more. And I just wanted to add a little bit more spice to Confetti Cake Pop, because this does smell like Confetti Cake Pop to me with just a little hint of spice, and it is kind of chilly today, so I thought this was the perfect little pairing. And then I did top that off with my new whipped almond from Mix Bar. This is such a nice sweet almond scent, and once you guys see the cake that I chose, like, you'll really understand what's routine. I was just very extra, but I just love this place so much. And I just wanted to match the vibe that I was going for. So yes, I did use all three, but since these two are body mist, it's really not that overpowering at all. And I do smell like a nice sweet cake, and I'm just very happy with this combination. And then I did decide to use my lip scrub today. So this is the Vanilla Sugar Exfoliating Lip Scrub from Bath & Body Works. And I did pick this up at a mini sale a couple of months ago. And then I bought this recently, actually probably about 2 days ago. So this is just my little chapstick, and this is in the scent Cake Batter. And I really do like this. It smells really nice, and of course it just goes with the whole theme. So now we're just gonna hop into my easy little makeup routine. So guys, I'm gonna start out with brushing up my eyebrows to get them prepared to fill them in. So I always just use a spoolie and I brush them upwards. And I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in the shade Ebony. And I'm just gonna go with the shape of my natural brow. Of course, my brows are very sparse, but I do just go within the shape that they would go if they were filled all the way in. And I just use a very light hand because I do not want my brows too dark. So once I get my desired shape, I just use whatever is left over on the brush, and I just fill my eyebrows in that way. And then I do repeat that on the other side. Finished filling in, I just pick up that spoolie and I do go ahead and blend whatever I put on my eyebrows out. So I start out with the front, and then I go through the tail and just make sure that every hair is covered and I don't have any bald patches in my eyebrows. So now I'm going to clean up my eyebrows, and I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape. I do not know what the shade is because it doesn't say it on the bottle, but I believe this is like honey or sand or something along those lines. So I just take an angled brush and I just clean up under my brow to make sure everything is nice and neat and clean. And this is really where the magic happens, because even if you don't do a good job at drawing your eyebrows on or filling them in, I feel like when you clean them up, that's really what helps to make your eyebrows look great is like a magic eraser. Concealer is definitely there to conceal. It does what it says it's gonna do. So I just go ahead and do that to both sides, and then I take out a little brush, and I did get this from a Pat McGrath set that I had, but you can take any brush, and I just buff that out so I don't have any sharp bright lines. And of course I just repeat the same steps on the other side as normal. So to further clean and shape my eyebrows, I just take my foundation and I take that same angle brush and I just clean up the top to make sure everything is shaped how I would like for it to be shaped. And then of course I do blend it out and buff it out just like I did on the underside. And if you do mess up on this part, you can just always take your eyebrow brush that you filled your eyebrows in and just fix up anything that you need to fix up, and then just go from there. I do always make sure to go in the middle to get rid of that unibrow, and when I do go on the front of the eyebrows, I do take a light hand and I make sure I don't press too hard. So now I'm going to take that same shape tape and I'm going to prepare my eyes for eyeshadow. I don't really mess with eyeshadow primer. I need to find a good one, but for the most part I just use concealer, and then I take a brush and just buff everything out as normal. And I do this to both sides. So I'm just going to set this with my Wet n Wild contour palette. Yes, my makeup is a little beat up because I do use it, so you'll see that a lot in this video, but I'm taking the light shade and I'm just setting my eye, because if I don't set it, it will crease ASAP. I do have oily skin, so I have to make sure I do this step. So I'm using the Mrs. Bella from BH Cosmetics palette, and I always thought that this was a cute brunch or lunch palette. So I am going to be using that brown shade to go into my outer corners and just give my eyes some depth. And I make sure I always tap my brush before I put it on my eye, because it has so much powder on it and we do not want a bunch of fallout. So I just make sure I go in little circular motions. I make sure I make a little V shape, and then I bring it in a little bit on my crease just to give my eyes some depth. Main thing here is we just want to blend as much as we can to make sure we don't have any harsh lines and everything looks nice and fluffy and airy. And I do this on the other side, but if you can see, I do struggle with my other side. I don't know why, but it's always hard for me to do anything on this eye, so I just do the best I can, and you can just do the best you can as well, because most of us are not professionals. I'm definitely not a professional. I'm still learning every single day, and I think that's what is so special, because I can definitely relate to a lot of people, because even though I have been doing my makeup for a while, I'm still learning, so we can always learn together. So now I'm taking my 90s Remix palette and I'm going to take that dark brown shade, and I'm just going to go over what I just previously did in my outer corners, and I am going to deepen that up because I do want it a little bit darker. So I did find both of these palettes at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, so if you're interested, they're probably still there. There are a lot of BH Cosmetics palettes because they unfortunately are going out of business. So you might get lucky and be able to still find these palettes, because I have still seen them in the store on my recent trips. So after I get that all blended out, I'm actually not showing the whole blending process because it's just the same thing as last time. I'm going back in with that Mrs. Bella palette, and I'm going to take this coral pink color and I'm just going to pat that all over my lid. Now don't worry if it looks a little splotchy, we are going to fix that, but just cover it as much as you can. Just go back in and make sure you don't have any obvious spots on your eyes, and we are going to fix that. So this is almost like a faux cut crease. This is like an eyeshadow technique that I use all the time. I do not really do a lot of crazy eyeshadow. Only when I'm trying to take like pictures, or if I'm doing something extremely special will I do like extravagant eyeshadow. Most of the time I just use 3 shades or 4, and I use a little glitter, and it goes a long way. So to have a cute eye look, you really do not have to do a lot. Honestly, it's all about that blending and placement. So I'm going back in with that palette, and I'm taking that shimmery pink color, and I'm going to actually apply this on my finger. I've noticed with metallics and glitters, they show up better when you use your finger for some reason, because I'm not really one to wet my brush all the time unless I have to. So with this, I did kind of have to rub a little bit, but don't rub too hard because you don't want to rub off what you've done for your base. So I'm just putting that on top of the pink just to give my eyes a little shimmer, and you will see at the end it does all come together, even though right now it does look a little sheer, but it is okay. So I'm using the No Pore Blend primer to go ahead and prime my face for my foundation, and I'm gonna rub that all over. But on my cheeks, since I do have large pores, I do go back in and pat that into my pores, and that's very important for those of us that have oily skin, because most of the time our pores are large and we need to make sure that they are filled in. So make sure you pat in those areas and don't completely just rub. So I'm going to end with my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in the shade 111. I'm also going in with the shade 113, and I'm also going to mix in my Physicians Formula shade corrector. So all 3 of these give me the right shade. It's unfortunate that I have to do all this to get the right shade, but I'm just going to go ahead and rub that all over with my beauty blender, and then I'm going to go back in and blend it. So lately I just been literally rubbing my foundation all over my face like this instead of patting it all over, and I've been getting my makeup done so much faster. So as long as you go back and blend it, it really doesn't matter how you apply it. So I also, if you've noticed, I cleaned up my eyeshadow with my beauty blender. I just literally go in and do like a little swipe so that my eyeshadow is cleaned up and it doesn't smear or anything. I just like to do that if I don't use any tape to initially apply it, and it just looks fine. So I make sure I go in between my eyebrows as well, and then in between my eyes to make sure I have every little corner blended out. So now I'm going back in with that Shape Tape, and I'm going to highlight the points of my face I usually highlight, which is under my eye, my forehead, my cupid's bow, my chin, and the bridge of my nose. So I just go all in with that, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend that out, of course, as usual. So I'm going to spray my beauty blender, and now I'm going to blend. Concealer, but I just personally like doing this. You definitely don't have to use this much at all. It's really not even recommended to use this much, but I just like it because it just is a little more dramatic. But sometimes I do go a little light-handed with my concealer, but most of the time this is just what I do. Set everything that I did with my concealer with this Well People loose setting powder. I'm just going to use a brush and pat that in, and I'm not even really going to bake because this is a translucent powder and it is white, but once I wipe everything off, I do not have flashback and it is not a powdery cast on my face. if you can see, this is pretty dusty. This does have a lot of fallout, so definitely be careful with this. And now I'm gonna go in and contour with the Well People Super Bronzer. I think that's what it says, but I'm just gonna use a contour brush and go in where my cheekbones are, go in around the perimeter of my face, and just give some color and some depth back into my face. But if you can see, I do already have pretty arched cheekbones, but I do like to just define them a little bit more because my face is a little chunky and I do like to chisel it out some. So today I'm not doing like a heavy contour. If I was, I would have used a cream first to really give myself that chiseled look, and I would have baked up under the contour, but I just wanted something, you know, cute and pretty today. So now to wipe everything off, I'm going in with the One Size powder from Patrick Starr. And my boo Sierra did send this to me, and this is in the shade Dark/Deep. I love this powder so much. Like, you do have to tap it off, but look at that. Once you wipe it on your face, it is perfection. It matches me perfectly, and it keeps my face matte. So I'm so happy that she sent me this because I will definitely be repurchasing this. I hope it does not go out of stock or business because I need this. So now I'm going in with the Too Faced Pink Diamond highlighter. So this one, I chose to use this one because I didn't want a gold highlighter today. I just wanted something soft and pretty, and you know, I just wanted some pops of pink today. So look how glowy this highlighter is. I will forever love this highlighter. It's probably time for me to throw it away, but honestly, I'm really bad at throwing away makeup, y'all. Like, if it still looks good, I'm still using it. I'll just sanitize it and move on. But yeah, I'm just gonna highlight my inner corners, my nose, my cheeks, and now I'm gonna go in with my eyeliner. I don't really have any rhyme or reason for my eyeliner. I've actually feel like I haven't been doing a great job on it, but I actually prefer eyeliner pens over these brushes because these brushes are really hard to work with. But I just tried my best to make a little arrow as much as I can, and just take your time on your eyeliner, especially if you are not you know, really used to doing eyeliner, especially with the liquid. Just take your time because it can really ruin your whole face if you just keep going and going and going. So now I'm just going to use this Milk Kush mascara and prepare my eyes for my eyelashes. I like to do this just so any powder or anything doesn't show up when I put my eyelashes on. So while my eyelashes are actually setting, I do have the glue on them. I'm going to go ahead and do my blush. So you do want to let your eyelashes set for a little bit before you put them on, because they won't stick directly if you just put the glue and just put it on your eyes. So definitely set them down and do something else for a little bit, but don't forget them, because if they get too dry, then you'll have to reapply glue. So now I'm just wiping my lips off, getting them ready for my lipstick and lip gloss. And I still blow my eyelash before I actually put it on. And if you see, this one went on so easily. It was nice and tacky. It was perfect, and it went on easy. But my other one, it was not as dry because I think I put a little too much eyelash glue on it, but it does eventually dry clear, so don't worry about that. I am using the Duo eyelash glue, and I'll make sure I link everything that I can down below in case you guys want to check any of this stuff out. But yes, so I am putting on my eyelashes, and I swear it's not as easy as it looks. I just had a lot of practice. With my lip liner, and I don't really remember where I got this from. I think it was a BoxyCharm, but I am going to go ahead and line my lips and get them ready for my lip color. So I'm not the best at doing lip liner, but I will show you guys how I make it look a little better, because it does go on a little rough, but it all comes together. It's just with makeup, you have to trust the process, because if you don't trust the process, what are you doing? you're gonna judge and then you're gonna click off and then you're gonna think it's, you know, not good. So I'm going in with this lip plumper, and this is from Milani, and this is in the shade Sparkling Pink. I have not found this in the store whatsoever. My mom actually had one, and as soon as I seen it, I fell in love. So I did order this off of Amazon, so I will leave that link down below if you're interested. But you may get lucky in your stores and still find it, but I just have literally not found it anywhere but Amazon right now. So I do take my finger, you can take a brush, but I take my finger and I just smooth out that lip liner because I do not want that harsh line. And then I do add some more lip gloss on top of that. And then I feel like after that it looks perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and spray my face with my setting spray, use my beauty blender to pat in all the little dots, and then I am finished with my makeup. So now we're going to go ahead and go to lunch, guys.